Welcome, Crucible Callers, to another KeyForge video. This video will be opening the second of 3 of my special Savior KeyForge decks. I hope you're pumped about it. Sorry in advance if there's any weird background noise. It's actually currently storming, but I can't reschedule making this video. So if you hear any storm sounds, my apologies, but hopefully everything goes well. And let's just dig right in. Super excited to see what kind of card treatment we can get this time. The kind of deck that I'm super looking for from this set is a Unfathomable Equidon Mars deck that has Tangika. I think those houses for that specific scenario work super good. It's my dream deck. I'm hoping that it would be one of these or just in one of my displays. Okay, so we've got a red Archon, and we've got Brobnar Equidon Sanctum. Not bad, not bad. We've got the Squire token here. Oh, you know what? Let me bring that bag back. Got the Squire token here. Let's hold this a little closer. Squire is a 2-power human creature with taunt. The name of the deck is Quadraprawn Palace Recluse. Very cool. The arms there on that Archon are really interesting. We've got kind of like 3 arms on the left side, a very distinct head. I've always loved the kind of like triangle halo background that some of the Archons got, so I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Try to keep it from focusing on my playmat there. Looks great. Okay. That glowing, that shine from the Savior decks is really, really cool. The Squire token is really good, so give me a moment. I will cut this open and we will be back in with the card reveal. And here we are with the card reveal. Get another close look at the Archon there. Set the deck list off to the side. And the token here, which is, of course, Squire. I'll show it up a little bit closer. 2-power human with taunt. That taunt on demand is really, really good. Also, wow, with the Savior lining, I bet Sanctum's gonna look extra good. It kind of fits their whole Halo theme, kind of angelic essence, however you want to refer to it. Okay, let's get in. So we're starting with Sanctum here. We've got the Reverend Monk. It's a 4-power creature with Reverend Monk gets +2 armor for each of its Sanctum neighbors. Not bad. Pandolf the Provoker. 4-power, 2 armor with taunt. That's good. Play Enrage an enemy creature. One of the few sources of Enrage in Winds of Exchange. Outflank. Play. Each Sanctum flank creature captures 2 amber from its opponent. That's good with a Sanctum token creature. 2 of those. Ostentatious Mount. Wow, we've got a lot of taunt in our Sanctum. We can keep whatever creatures are in this deck very safe from fighting at the very least. Ostentatious Mount is an upgrade. It's got 1 amber on it, and this creature gains taunt. Play. Move this creature anywhere in its controller's battle line. 2 of those. We've got Colonel Mariana, which is 5-power, 1 armor. A Spirit Knight with play. Each friendly knight captures 1 amber. Very good. Ooh, Martyr of the Vault. Wow, that Savior design Martyr of the Vault looks so good. 4-power, 1 armor with Destroyed. If your opponent has 7 amber or more, they lose all but 5. Very powerful. Looks great. That's a really good looking card. Ooh, the Lightbringer Outpost. 1 amber on it, and action, put an enemy creature on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, friendly creatures capture 3 amber. Katarina the Summoner, possibly one of my all-time favorite Sanctum creatures, at the very least from this set, but maybe overall. I think the effect is very good for Sanctum. It's a play and after reap, capture 1 amber, and then when Katarina the Summoner is destroyed, make a token creature for each amber on Katarina the Summoner. Very good effect. The Alms Master here. It's a 4-power, 1 armor with deploy and taunt. Play. Each of Alms Master's neighbors captures 1 amber. Ooh, and then renewed life. Play. Fully heal a creature. Make a token creature for each damage healed this way. Very powerful. Okay, then we're going to Aquadon. We've got the action Trading Frenzy. It's got an amber on it, and play a friendly creature and an enemy creature capture 3 amber from their opponent. Then the Old Tinker, 3 power creature with elusive, and after reap, discard a card from your hand, draw a card. 2 of those, some good efficiency. Shrewd Investor, 4 power with elusive, play. You may have your opponent gain 1 amber. If you do, capture 4. Then Ornate Talking Tray, it's got an amber on it. Omni, destroy Ornate Talking Tray and make a token creature. Very good. Ooh, and then Mass Buyout, a really good board wipe. It's an action with play. Destroy each creature. Each player gains amber equal to half the number of creatures they controlled that were destroyed this way, rounded up. Hire On, it's an action, play, make a token creature. If there is a combined total of 6 amber or more between both players' pools, archive Hire On. 2 of those. General Zaorha, 4 power with skirmish and play. For each forged key your opponent has, make a token creature. Ooh, and then Auction Off, some good artifact control here. It's got an amber bonus on it, and it says purge an artifact, and its controller gains 1 amber. Oh, and then Trade Secrets, if we really don't want to use that Trading Frenzy or something else. This is a great card as well. Play, discard any number of Aquadon cards from your hand, steal 1 amber for each card discarded this way. And then pull up Stank, some great creature control. It's got an amber bonus, and play, shuffle 2 friendly creatures into their owner's decks, return 4 enemy creatures to their owner's hand. Okay, then we're on to Brobnar, starting with Ragnarok Prep, make a token creature. Then if you control more creatures than your opponent loses 2 amber. Pretty good. A double of those, not bad, some good amber control. And it seems like our deck, the way it plays, is really going to want to fill out the board. Hope for some big Brobnar creatures here. Then we've got Pound, 1 amber on it, and it's an action that reads play, deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. Ooh, then Fresh Marks, it's got an amber bonus, and it reads play, destroy a friendly creature. If you do, exalt 3 enemy creatures. Ooh, and then we've got the probably best Brobnar creature, or one of the best. I think all of Bracken are pretty strong for Winds of Exchange, Brick Nasty. After another friendly Brobnar creature fights, gain 1 amber. Fantastic. Ooh, and then we've got another one here with Volca, 5 power, and each friendly Brobnar creature gains splash attack 1. Probably the weakest of the Bracken creatures, but still very, very good. Great for clearing the board faster so you can get to your reaping. Then we've got Overrun, some more amber control. It's got an amber bonus. And if 3 or more enemy creatures have been destroyed this turn, your opponent loses 2 amber. Oh, and then we've got Gedhammer here. 5 power with destroyed, ready, and enrage each other friendly Brobnar creature. This can get really out of hand if you have the last member of Bracken, Harmel Attuned, which just says each other friendly Brobnar creature gains destroyed, return this creature to its owner's hand. So if you destroy Gedhammer, you can choose to resolve this destroyed effect first, readying and enraging, and then playing him again. So if you have something like Shock Herder, and you can get your Gedhammer killed twice, then it's likely that you'll be able to not only gain a bunch of amber because of Brick Nasty if you have them, but then you'll be able to reap out once all the creatures on the opponent's side are destroyed, and even if yours are enraged. Then we've got Blood of Titans. It's an upgrade with an amber bonus, and this creature gains +5 power. Oh, and then we have Harmel Attuned. Okay, I wonder if this deck comes with Hallowfest. The only Brobnar creatures that we've seen have been Bracken, I think, which is weird. A lot of actions and upgrades and stuff. Typically, you'll see 1 or 2 more creatures. But 5 power, each other friendly Brobnar creature gains destroyed, return this creature to its owner's hand. Oh, we do have Hallowfest. Okay, this card is really, really good. The consistency of being able to pull out all of Bracken at once can get really crazy. And it's just so nice, especially in a deck with so much variation and tokenizing. As long as you don't tokenize your Hallowfest, you're guaranteed your Bracken members. Or if they get tokenized, you will just want to kill them off so that you can get them in your discard pile and find them this way. But Brobnar can be really abused in this set. Hollowfest, play, search your deck and discard pile for up to 4 Bracken cards with different names. Reveal these cards and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck, gain chains equal to the number of cards put into your hand in this way. Fantastic. And then we've got Barehanded. It's an action with an amber bonus. Play, put each artifact on top of its owner's deck. Great artifact control. Putting it on top of its owner's deck means that it might get tokenized before they draw back into it. And that's all of the cards. Wow, this seems like a really, really interesting deck. I mean, at a first glance, first of all, we have Hallowfest, which is great. I wish we had some more Brobnar creatures. I think we only have the Bracken members, which is fine. There's a lot that you can do with just the Bracken members, but we won't be able to take full advantage of Brick Nasty and Get Hammer with just the Bracken members in place. And then oh my gosh, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, all of the capturing and everything that came from the other houses, there was a lot of artifact control with Barehanded and Auction Off. Equidon had some efficiency in there. I mean, seems pretty set, and it seemed like there was a lot of bonus pips. So give me one moment. I will set this all aside and do our Winds of Exchange, our kind of like temporary breakdown that I do. I will be right back. And here we are with the deck breakdown. I've got it separated into our individual piles here. I'll go ahead and there are our numbers. I think in the last video I forgot to address some of the extras and counts, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into that right now to make sure I don't miss anything. We've got 15 bonus amber pips, which is actually really good. It's like 3 beneath the point that I really like, where you can just get, 3 keys worth of amber off of playing cards, but it's definitely not bad. 17 actions, 14 creatures, so we're real low on the creature end, but we make token creatures, so it balances itself out in a little, sort of, Then we've got 2 artifacts, which are the Ornate Talking Tray, and then the Lightbringer Outpost, which is a really, really good Amber Control outpost. Then we've got 3 upgrades. It is 1 Blood of the Titans and 2 Ostentatious Mounts. And then we've got 8 cards in total that are mixed in here that make token creatures. This pile right here is the token generation cards that didn't fit into one of these piles. And then in each of these piles, you'll see some token generation cards that do other things as well. And then we've got 2 cards that can archive, but they only archive themselves. We're looking at the 2 Hirons from Equidon. There are no key cheats in this deck. 1 Scaling Amber Control via the Martyr of the Vault in Sanctum, and then 1 board wipe through Mass Buyout in Equidon. And then let's dig into our numbers here. We had a lot of Amber Control cards, a lot. So we've got the Outflank here, 2 of those for the potential capture of 4, which again, this is great with Squire being our token creature, because even if we don't have Sanctum creatures, if we can, pop our Katarina the Summoner or something, which you'll see in here in a second, then we can create a bunch of token creatures and put them in the proper positions for our outflanks to work. Colonel Mariana, which we have a decent number of knights. They're not all knights, but it's very good, kind of general capture. Martyr of the Vault here being our best, with it being a scaling Amber Control that just throws the rest of it in the common supply. Very, very good card here. And again, I mean, you're going to see it all here, and I'm sure you're thinking it, but with the Savior kind of treatment, it all shines and looks super, super good. And these Sanctum cards, like Colonel Mariana, and especially Martyr of the Vault, every time I look at it, I'm just like, wow, looks really cool. Lightbringer Outpost also looks really cool in here, with the ability to capture 3. Katarina the Summoner's got her own capture. I wish she was a knight so we could get the Colonel Mariana capture, but we've got Almsmaster that can capture onto her, and then we just want to keep her on a flank for the outflank. Then here's the Almsmaster, who is a knight. Very cool art there, standing right in front of these stained glass. Let's get it to focus here. There we go. For those stained glass window. Wonder if it's depicting anything like lore-wise. Very cool. Then in Brobnar we have the Ragnarok Preps for the potential to make our opponent lose Amber. It would be 4 Amber total, which is great, especially since it makes a token creature then would resolve the remainder of its effect. Outrun, which is, again, pretty good, especially since we have some direct damage in our Brobnar, and there's just a lot of ways to destroy creatures. Then in Equidon, we have Trading Frenzy, forcing our opponent, capturing 3 from our opponent's side onto one of our creatures. I don't know why I can't find the wording for this. And then an opponent's creature would capture 3. So you really want to play it when you have like no amber, that way you don't have to worry about it. But that 1 amber pip's going to get you, because it's always going to at least capture 1. I wish we had a way to swap control of creatures, especially with how much capturing we are. Like if we could load up just a Squire and then send them over, that would be awesome. But didn't get any of that in this deck. You've got Shrewd Investor. You have to give your opponent amber, but then you get to capture 4 onto him. And then Trade Secrets, which is really, really good. It helps you cycle your turn. If there's some Equidon cards that you don't feel one way or the other about, you can just turn it into stealing. That's all of our Amber control. That's 13 cards. A lot of the deck had some form of Amber control going on, which is great. And then our expected Amber. Again, you're not going to see a whole lot of this. In Winds of Exchange, Reaping is very, very important. And then bonus amber is super important just from playing cards. So I feel like it's going to be common in a lot of decks to not see crazy amounts of expected amber cards, just because the expected amber is going to come through different means. There aren't going to be a super whole lot of cards that are like, yep, this is the card that just makes amber and that's what it does. But if you can get something like a good membership drive or Zephon the Opulent, those guys will definitely be in there. Fresh Marks exalts 3 enemy creatures, and then Brick Nasty is huge just with our different Brobnar creatures fighting, but we only have 3 other Brobnar creatures other than him, and not a Brobnar token creature, so it'll be interesting to say the least. Then in Artifact Control, we actually have 2 really good ones. We've got Barehanded, to put each artifact on top of its owner's deck. Again, in Winds of Exchange, that's huge, because if they end up accidentally making it into a token, or they just need to make a token and then that sacrifice just has to be made, it's a great way to, push them back, especially with how important artifacts can be in this set. And then Auction Off is great because it purges an artifact straight from play. You have to give your opponent an amber, but it is almost certainly always worth it. Then lastly is our creature control. Or lastly of the 4. We'll take a look at our token creation. And then we have Pandolf the Provoker, just enrages an enemy. Pound, which is some direct damage. And then Mass Buyout is that board wipe I was talking about. Oh, and then Pull Up Stakes. Shuffle 2 friendly creatures into their owner's deck, and then return 4 enemy creatures to their owner's hands. This is great utility if you are building a big board, which this deck wants to do. So you could pick 2 token creatures that are hopefully really good cards, and then shuffle them back in. Like if I tokenize my Lightbringer Outpost or something. And then returning 4 to your owner's, to the enemy's hand. That can be a mixed bag. You have to be careful what you select, but it is return 4, not return up to 4. So you do have to do all of them. And then our token generation that wasn't already seen in there. Renewed Life is huge, especially with the fighting that we're going to want to do. I think the most we can generate though is about 4 amber, because I think our highest power creature is 5 power. Oh, but we do have Blood of the Titans, so this could be a unique way to, like, if we Blood of the Titans somebody and then fight them into a 7 power creature, then we can Renewed Life on another turn for huge Squire making. Plus, with all this Squire making, Squires can reap, so we could turn them into taunt creatures and then just Rule of 6 them for amber. Then General Zoorha forges 1 for each key our opponent has forged. The 2 Hierons that I mentioned that archive themselves, and then our other artifact, the Ornate Talking Tray, which just cycles itself, and it's good because it comes with an amber pip on it. Although it does take a turn for you to be able to do it, but it's Omni, so it's not really a huge problem. You can reserve the token summoning for when you really need it. But that's everything. Again, we're not looking at speed and board for this set just yet. Hopefully the SAS numbers and stuff like that will be up soon. I don't know if I said the card numbers there, but we had 2 cards that were artifact controlled, 2 cards that were expected amber, and then 4 cards that were creature control. So, all in all, this looks like a great deck. Holofast is such a great card, and I think that it's super unique. Plus, I think it might be my only Squire deck, so I'm super, super happy to have it and super interested in playing it. I've been playing a bunch of TCO that actually just went live the other day with Winds of Exchange. So if you haven't, you might see me on there. You should go check it out. And if you haven't already, on last Saturday, I think it was, I just uploaded a short talking about a infinite token combo, the only combo in KeyForge that is actually infinite in that it goes until you run out of your deck, but you could keep triggering destroyed triggers until you decided not to. So you should definitely go check that out. I think it's a super, super cool combo from the new set. And with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And remember, the most important part of the KeyForge, the most important part of KeyForge is the person sitting across the table. Have a good one.